You are now listening to the Eastdale Podcast.
Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the E-Chamber Podcast. Sorry for the layoff, bit of chaotic week, but I'm not going to waste a lot of time boring you with those details. Like always, let's jump right into things. You see, the last episode that I did, it was a definition of success, and we were looking at where do you get that definition for each individual, not just you, me, everyone. Where do we get our definitions of success from? And I thought that was good, but we want to also take that a little bit further in talking about specifically, are you ready for the success that you're hoping for? Specifically, are you ready to carry the weight that that success brings? So when I mean success is also goals, all that intertwine as I explained in the last episode. If you haven't listened to the last episode, you should listen to the last episode and then this will make a lot more sense. But when you consider a lot of us wanting to meet certain goals and we say, I can't wait if I have this, I can't wait to have that. One thing if you haven't noticed, when you meet people or see people also in that genre or that level of success, sometimes they will be honest with you and share that there's a weight that comes with that level of success, whether it's added responsibilities, whether it's added finances, whether it's added stress on your physical body, whatever it is, there's a different level of responsibility, or let's just generalize that and say weight that is placed on you. And of course, a lot of us ignore that and say, I just want the level of success. I just want this. I just want that. And we ignore that because we don't think it's a big detail. Sure, we think it's something, but we say, when I reach there, I'll handle that. However, if you're not prepared to handle that weight, it is quite likely that you will not only with that added weight have an unbearable level of stress that will make you almost regret or look back on the times when you didn't have that success and longing for that time of normalcy. And you can actually come to loathe your success if you are not prepared to handle it. What's an example of that? There's several, but let me give an easy one. A lot of people, let's say you want to have a child, and me and my wife Crystal, our daughter, had her third birthday last week. Happy birthday, Riley. But before we had her, we had to, or before my wife actually gave birth to her, to all my women listening, I did not give birth to her. But anyways, I digress. But before that happened, we prepared. We had the crib, we had certain products, we had diapers. We prepared for that because one of the worst things that could happen is have that baby and then you're not prepared. So then among the stress that came with that new goal or that new level of success or blessing or any way you want to phrase that, you were unprepared. So now there's an extra level of stress. You think about a company. Maybe you're trying to start a company or you're an entrepreneur, but you want to be rich and famous. But one of the worst things that can happen to you is if you become too successful and then you don't have the infrastructure to handle that level of success. So let's say you're designing t-shirts and you are good with one or two orders. Sure, you can make them on time, you can ship them on time. But when you get 1,000,000 orders, sure, you're like, that's a lot of money, but you can't handle that at that time. And it's not that you can never handle it, you just didn't have the infrastructure set up to handle that. And that applies anything. It applies to sports. It applies to a lot of different aspects of your life. Are you building to carry that extra level of weight? Waiting until you get there is going to be too late. And sure, you can adjust after you got it, but you should be prepared and anticipate that there's going to be an extra level of stress. And that stress can make you not even want to enjoy the success because you weren't prepared to handle it. So a quick tip, a way to handle that or a way to prepare for that is to make sure you have somebody else involved in whatever it is. Sometimes naturally, whether it's businesses or other ventures, you have people naturally involved, but it could be other things, individual goals that you don't typically have someone else involved. But it's always great to have an extra set of eyes, not necessarily somebody that is in step with you on that goal. sometimes even if they're not in step with you is even better because they can give an objective opinion about, are you ready to handle that? Giving you things that you may not consider. Are you financially ready for that? Are you mentally, psychologically, spiritually ready for that? And what do you need to do to handle that? Because that is one clear indicator how serious you are about that level of success, that you already start to plan for it. If I told you that I was planning to have another baby, but nothing in my house, my room, anything I bought, anything I was doing whatsoever showed that, then you would think I'm not that serious. Not to suggest you're not serious for your goals, but in general, you have to ask yourself, if you are not building that infrastructure, does that speak to some doubt that you have if you're able to get that goal? Or does that speak to that you're not that serious about it, meaning that's not something you want? So when we go back to the last podcast, you can see, hey, maybe this is a success or a goal I'm chasing that I really don't want because I don't even want to plan for it. I don't want to do anything. So that's a whole bunch of other stuff. But don't want to be too long, like always. So that's it for today. Take care. And an added bonus, I'm going to do another episode because I missed out on the other week. So look out for that. Take care.